Okay, onward to part 4 of the debunk on him trying to expose me as a two-faced fraud and overnight racist. I'm not really a racist. I just don't like people lying and making up racism, causing it by their own hands, getting mad about it, and then making up other crap and getting mad about it. And it's all about whitey bad and all this type of crap. It's really gotten disgusting and quite out of hand. There's a class of black people that like to live off this type of thing. I make Near Eastern and ancient culture videos and videos about mythology and kind of show a lot of what people don't really get taught necessarily in schools, even at academia levels. And so I do so, and I ended up getting infiltrated by people like this idiot here who's all CPs now and trying to tell me that I was a pseudo scholar and that they knew everything. And of course, a lot of them have mentioned things that I was really unaware of. And then I looked into it and it's like, oh, that's taken out of context totally. And just a lot of jibber jabber that comes out to be a lot of BS. Anyhow, so what he's done here is he has a premise that I haven't studied at all or know nothing at all about history whatsoever. I'm just clueless about history because I only started making or putting videos on YouTube about 2 years ago, and even went down through my videos and went all the way back to where they start on this channel and not on my old site. But then in the other video set, I think it was on 2, I actually showed where, yeah, I go down, I show you all my old videos, and there's a couple of hundred of them. There's 3 pages worth that are just pretty much turned off now. It was really just academic talk, and it was about debunking certain parts of the Bible, showing you that there's a lot of discrepancies between it, and then a few weird things that are really kind of strange. But most of those are really segments, and I used to put videos together in segments, and in between I would have a picture that fades in or fades out. I really thought, after looking at them and stuff, it's really quite juvenile in the first place, and none of it's really about me. All of it's about the information. And so it really has nothing to do with it. Like the narrator, whenever you watch, it's really not about him. It's about what he's saying. You know, Steve Sable, they don't need to have him in the corner talking about the Cowboys or a blustery field and Lambeau Field or whatever, type of things that he's doing. You just like that. Well, I don't think I'm a great narrator or orator either. I'm not the David Attenborough. But one thing's for sure, I'm not an idiot who just talks at a real high level. Whenever we get into videos like this, though, I do, and it blew his mind that he found one of my old videos where I'm talking like I'm doing now, as opposed to talking like he is with a real upraised voice, real slow, and okay, and yelling and stuff. Well, I only did that back at him to make a joke out of what he's doing, and he can't seem to realize it, and he keeps pointing his finger at me, so I keep bringing the finger of God in and start pointing at him. But so it's about time to wakey this dude up. Hey, knock knock, are you an idiot racist making a fool of yourself?
Yes.
Okay. So what are you going to show now?
I'm going to show a video that he made about me that he has the truth right in front of his face. And because he's a novice, he can't accept it.
What you're going to see right here is that he has the truth right in front of his face, and because he's a novice, he can't accept it. It's one of those beautiful backfires that they try to do, and it just backfires on him. Watch this. I was showing it at the end of the last one. I may just cut it.
But yeah, I'm not going to be too long on this. But let's go.
Here's Ethiopia, okay, of the Greeks in the Bible. Not some country that used to be Abyssinia until just recently. This is Ethiopia. Yep.
Yeah. They even talk about it. It means sunburnt face.
Yeah.
And then picture where they say in brown.
Look at that.
Is Ethiopians. And you'll find
the brown ain't got nothing to do with Ethiopia.
Yeah, it does. It's the only place they're describing. It's the definition. See, he wants to say, now, just a clarification here, and then I'll probably just let it go, is the whole area was called Libya. It wasn't called Africa. Later it got named Africa after a Caucasian too, but we don't need to go into that. Now, Herodotus' time, he didn't draw a map necessarily, or if he did, they are not aware of it, but I'm sure he got with cartographers and things. But this is a culmination of all the things that they said in that and in the Iliad and the Odyssey and all the old ancient tales about where they had described Ethiopians. And amazingly, Ethiopian is just really run straight through farmlands off of rivers, at the ends of rivers. It's rednecks. It's amazing. But hold on, also, there is some up here, but notice that Ethiopia is not a place. This is Ethiopians. This means this kind of people, but it doesn't name the land after them. Ethiopia is where it's pointing at now, in reality now. But that recently was called Abyssinia and was all the way before. So that new name doesn't mean that the people there are the people they were talking about in elder times that lived. No, that's it, because they're all over the place here. And it in Herodotus's map, it does show right here the eastern Ethiopians, and they also talk about LeucoAethiopians, which means Whyte Ethiopians. But hey, he can't handle that either. They also show that the Nile comes up, bends, turns around. They don't even know sub-Saharan Africa exists. Look at the map. Look at it. And that it supposedly comes from the Atlas Mountains or something. And there is a river chain that runs through here in the Green Sahara, and recently that showed Caucasians in it. But all this, he says, it's got nothing to do with brown. It's got everything to do with that. And what is that? Those are tan Caucasians. They're basically describing anybody tanner than themselves. This is kind of well known. A conspicuous thing is the Caucasians, Caucasus Mountains right here, Caucasians, that's got it too. So what is that? Well, this is farmers. At the end of every river, if you look, at the end of the river sets running into it are all these people and so on. Yeah. So, but all these people are Caucasians. And they show to have blonde hair and blue eyes, red hair in some of them, all this stuff. And Macrobians were said by Herodotus to be this beautiful, tall people. Caucasians, they were beautiful and tall, and they lived long, long lives. Yeah, but let's just listen to him hang himself.
For God's sake.
He made it up.
Oh, that's the thing I had to put in. And now I'm making this up, is what he's saying. I'm showing you the definition and a map that's showing you the areas they're talking about from the definition, and it has a whole explanation below it too. And it explains, it's not talking about Negroids in any way. And the people that live in Ethiopia now are about 40 to 50%, well, 40 on average, up to 50% Caucasian admix, and they have a phenotype that is not a Negroid phenotype anymore. But that still has nothing to do with what happened in biblical times and way back here. But they definitely, desperately want to attach it. Let's let him go.
Nothing to do with tan people.
That's exactly what the definition
No
is.
sub-Saharan Africa existed whatsoever. Even though they had sent the Phoenicians to go all the way around, this is what they got out of it. That's strange, but look at all the brown over here. And yeah, there's other maps. Herodotus' map will show you over here. It says Eastern Ethiopia.
Look at that. No Ethiopians over there. Okay? Look at that.
Anatolia? Look, Caucasians, Caucasus, Ethiopians. What is up with
Look at that. He
Yep.
just exposed himself.
He just exposed himself. Look, he just exposed the whole Negroid lie about being a part of the Bible too, and any of that stuff. Ethiopians were always. We looked at Caucasian race and stuff at the end of the last video. And let's just let him continue.
I can point and tell you where Ethiopia is.
He can point.
Right now. Look at that. Ethiopia, right where my finger is. You see it?
No, what that says is Ethiopians, and they are in Libya. Libya is the big word there. See, he doesn't seem to understand that. See, this Celts is written over here, and it doesn't say that that is called Celts. It's part of Europe. You see that, right? And then in Asia, there's people over here. So this is Libya, and there's people called Ethiopians, but this is not called Ethiopia, and that name was derived a whole lot later. And we know this, but let him go ahead and think he's going to show something, but in the process, he just showed his idiocy.
Right here. South of Libya. Look at that.
In Libya.
The places he's pointed to, no Ethiopians there.
That's where they describe them.
Ethiopians right there in Africa.
No, we see them.
Southern heart of.
We see them everywhere that's got the brown on it. Look up the definition of Ethiopians by yourself, separate from me. Read that. Then look up Hamites. when you look at Hamites and you see what is done and how they incorporated in people that weren't supposed to be part of it, and what the reality of it is that it all came from Caucasians of the Bible. And of course, Egypt is Caucasians, all of North Africa was all Caucasians, and everywhere on this map it's all Caucasians. They didn't know sub-Saharan Africans existed. The only Negroids that were trying to do anything at this time were the Nubians, and they are not going to ever be called Egyptians, even if they came into Egypt, but they weren't allowed for a long time. Their Simna Stele of Sinsheret III shows you that one of many stelae and decrees where they're not allowed to come in. They can come trade in Icon. So when you see them on the walls, that's just them coming and giving them stuff there and tallying it up. Yeah, they were subjugated by them. So that's the Nubians. And if you want to look at what the Nubians said, I've got a video about that too. What was said about the Nubians. And it doesn't say all of the things that were said about Nubians too. It's just revealing enough to probably have a cup of STFU, but they can't see that.
Look at that.
Look at that, making a fool of himself.
So we just proved that he's a pseudo scholar.
So we just proved that he's a pseudo scholar. Right there, this dude.
Look at that.
Look at this. He's
saying
showing
that
it.
The Ethiopians were all up here.
I'm saying all the science and all of history, other than the BS he's trying to make up and lie, shows you exactly where it is.
But we see here the Ethiopians were right here. Right where my...
They called Ethiopians right there, but also they don't have the word written all over the map. In the legend over there, it tells you everywhere that's brown is the Ethiopians. That's it. It's on the definition. Look it up.
Finger at.
Finger at.
Okay? And that
My
map is
finger
pseudo because Herodotus never drew a map. Herodotus only written a book. All those maps were drawn by modern day geographers or modern day map makers.
And people that have researched a lot more than him and figured out all the places in all of Herodotus' stories. I think he's not read all of Herodotus. I think he has not even read any of the books of it. I don't think he's read any of Iliad or Odyssey or anything else and found the mentions in there. He's seen Negro suitor scholarship and he's gotten all mad about it. He can't quite cognate.
That has nothing to do with Herodotus.
Oh, okay. Even though that's exactly what it says.
He mentions the Amunians of Siwa.
Yeah.
He mentions the Garamantes, the Fezan, and that's nowhere found on here.
The map, the Garamantes, is found on other maps. They explain it. Sometimes they show them right there where the Ethiopians are. Sometimes they show them up higher and everything. Of course, in some of the maps, the Ethiopian little changes a little bit there of where they think that they were at, kind of in that area. But it kind of floats around. It's nowhere other than that. And that's where they talk about them being up above the Nile there. These people were Caucasians that were, let's call it a redneck, if you will, because it sure as hell isn't Negroids, or he would have described them as being stuff. You know, and it's pathetic for them to try to twist this and say that it's not. And of course, here's the clincher. West Africans didn't know any of this existed. They're not on that map there too, and that's what he's from. And he's trying to say that he's from Egypt. And so it has no bearing on him whatsoever anymore, but he's claiming that too at this time. So he's claiming Ethiopians, he's claiming Egypt, but he has his own videos where he knows Hebrew Israelites are lying and everything. And what's funny is if you take and put those videos together, you can show that they sit and debunk themselves around in a circle telling you the same truths and lies about each other, or lies about themselves and truths about him. I don't know. They're shoving food up their butt and pooping out their mouth.
That has nothing to do with Herodotus. So
here he goes. He gonna poop out his mouth. Hey, let me show you to poop out his mouth here. Herodotus says the Garamantes are the Egyptian warriors, depending on which one you look at, which decide from it. The Egyptian warriors hunt the vile Negro Troglodytes, or the vile Ethiopian Troglodytes. They are the fastest afoot of any men they've ever found. They chase them in 4-horse chariots. They eat snakes, lizards, and other crawling things. Their voice and speech is unique and sounds like the screeching of bats. This has led a lot of scholars to believe they're talking about the Khoisan and how they have that weird click language. because it sounds like chittering of bats somewhat or something, and very unique from anything else that they'd ever run into. But he doesn't like that idea. Poop out your mouth.
You clearly see here that Neptune's Lagoon does not know what the hell he's talking about.
You can see he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He hasn't even looked at the definition or read it about Ethiopians and realized that, or any of the things that he says he apparently supposedly has scholarship about, but he's trying to berate me with this low IQ racist idiocy. It's all too common, and he can't shut up.
And we just proved that he's not a 35-year researcher, historian, or none of that.
No, he just proved that I started putting videos on YouTube a couple of years ago. And let's see, again, I'm just got to make the point. Before Cosmos came out, Carl Sagan never studied anything. He didn't study anything about astrophysics and stars. He didn't know nothing. Is that what you're going to try to come with? Is that what you've got? That's pretty damn pathetic. Yeah, that's pretty pathetic. It shows you a lack of logic and reasoning. And if blacks believe it, it shows you a lack of logic and reasoning too. Let's continue.
Okay, he's a two-faced fraud. That's what he is.
Oh, I'm two-faced because I'll talk like this, but in the video about him, I acted like I was yelling, because when he yelled at me and pointed his finger, I pointed my finger back at him and yelled too. So, okay, all right, let's go.
He had the truth right there in front of him. Ethiopians right there in front of him, and he's still in denial of it.
Wow, Ethiopia's right in front of him, and the reality of it, and he's in denial of it right in front of you.
This guy, he's not a geographer, he's not a historian, he's just a low-life, phony, fake, uneducated, two-faced, hypocrite racist. That's all he is.
That is all that we're looking at right now, is a hypocrite racist. He's got nothing. And he's trying a personal ad hominem bullshit straw man attack and then getting mad about a straw man. You know, yelling at a piñata that he's made up in his own mind. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Probably needs medication and help, but he won't seek it because he thinks he's the right one and everyone else is wrong, you see. Yeah, and they can delude each other into believing it just out of an envious jealousy and a want for them not to have been where they were. They try to cling on to any place they can, like a leech almost. It's gotten quite disgusting to anybody who's ever just looked at it, where they say they're the Hebrews, they say they're the Egyptians, they say they were the Moors, they say they were a lot of things. In fact, look at Clyde Winters. He'll claim everybody, and a lot of people get on there and have made other videos about it too because he said it. And it's gotten way out of hand. But here's some more rope. If you want to sit and hang yourself, here's some more rope. You know, whatever. You know, we got a free country. You can talk, but all you're doing is making yourself shown to be dependent and pathetic. And if that's your what you're trying to do, you're doing it. You're showing that blacks have a collective mental problem if allowed to. Let's go.
So, and I would do a history lesson, you know, teaching this punk, okay? Because we already see in the video, when he was talking, we see how feminine he talks.
Oh, now I'm feminine. And way down, low. And I'm all feminine, huh? Okay, all right.
Okay, in his how delicate, how pale and delicate his hands look like he never.
I'm almost as dark as him. I don't even go out in the sun. I have an Irish background. I've had my DNA tested. He can tongue punch my fart box with that prognostic jaw of his that keeps shining, lying and yapping.
Never did a hard day's of work in his life.
He has no idea what I've done, man. No idea what I've done. I worked on a ranch for a while. Helped caretake a ranch. I bucked hay on those big trailers. You've probably never seen it in your life. Look it up, bucking hay. And people will take and put it up 5 caps high and take it to hay barns and everything. Yeah, I actually was a cowboy for a little while. My dad was so into cowboys when I was a kid, and he really never got to do something like it. And so You know, I kind of got to do that. Rode horses and everything. Yeah, yeah. I've talked about it in a couple of my other videos, but he hasn't seen any of those. All he's seen is the ones where I'm debunking him or I'm showing something about Egypt. And hey, on my debunk videos, I react and act kind of different a little bit because I'm reacting to somebody's lies versus just showing you something normal. You know? Yeah. Let's go.
Okay? A little feminine, punk-ass white boy. That's what he is.
Now, yeah, he's a little lost in the head, negroid black boy. That's what he is, and he's showing it in these videos, and he can't quit. It's actually what he's emoting out of himself. He wears the same shirt every time too. He's got a smudge on his lens, and he won't fix it. You can see it's kind of double blurring his ankh there, and he really should seek help. Well, let's continue.
A 60-year-old dumb boy.
54, and I'm not sure how old he is. I'm probably twice his age. Look at him with his little... I'm probably twice his age. I've been studying before he was born about all these topics and stuff, and it's not... I haven't been studying about negroids. I've been studying about history of North Africa and Egypt, all through the Middle East, Sumerian stuff, especially when it started coming about and everything, and nobody knew anything about it. Now people know a whole lot about it, but they've turned that into Anunnaki space god things and stuff. That's for other videos, and I've done videos about that. But yeah, Proto-Indo-Europeans and stuff. See, I go back before people even know about it and stuff, and Kamyana-Mohila and Connect Places and Catalhoyuk, and now we found Göbekli Tepe. Anytime new little things come out about these places, I kind of do a 101 on Proto-Indo-Europeans with a 102, 103, and a hey, you're never going to hear this crap either, and I'll try to make a connection. Because a lot of these things almost seem to act like they stand alone, but if you're in the know, you get to know. Just like if you're not into paleobotany, you don't get to know that part of it pretty much whatsoever. But let's continue.
So you have old wise men, you have wise old men, and you have dumb old men.
And you have smart black people, and you have dumb black people, and you have old black people that are smart. I don't know, Neil deGrasse Tyson, man, everyone wants to use somebody as a figurehead. There you go. And there's old dumb black men, and I don't have to show you one. And then there's young black people that look like they're going to go somewhere, and they're smart as hell too. And I'm not going to deny it in any way, although in an average they have a lot of people with lower IQ, and it averages out much lower than Caucasians. It's why they give them affirmative action and all these things, trying to get something going out of them. But and college deficiency things, and oh yeah. But there's also dumb middle-aged black people that don't quite have a clue and really are trying to make up racism in their own mind by their own hands. And they make it up in their mind, and then they get mad about it. Yeah. You can see it rampant all over the news in a bunch of different situations. And it's just because they want to act that way. Something needs to address that. Their own people won't. And even in fact, their own people that know won't help the other ones at all. They're like, oh man, you can't talk to them. Yeah, think about what it's like whenever we try to say anything. All of a sudden, we're the racist. Yeah, we're the racist because we're a cracker. Whitey snow cave ape and all this stuff that comes out their mouth. And of course, I'm rubber and you're glue. Bounce off me, stick to you. So you come out with that yap, you get it back. I don't take crap off of idiots.
Neptune's Lagoon is a dumb old man. He's probably twice my age.
Yep. Probably have twice your IQ too, idiot.
And we see here that his behavior here is, his behavior now is that of a stupid, dumb, racist little boy.
You can see this dumb, stupid, idiot, racist
Nothing
boy
like
mentality.
The Neptune's Lagoon who we saw on that video a year ago.
Same guy.
Two different persons.
No, it's just I'm not debunking somebody yelling at me.
On that video, on his first video, where he talks about Zeus.
Yeah.
We hear nothing about West African, Negro, primitive, nothing about we was kings, or we was kings.
Why would I, in a video about Zeus and a strange anomaly of looking upside down at it, how it looked like an alien head, like a gray, and how people say they see Jesus in toast and everything, and hey, you see a thing. And that was actually, if you look at it, it's a little snippet. It's a minute, couple of minutes long, and I used to segment them all together. But he's saying, oh, that's my first knowledge about history at all, is seeing something like that. Because I haven't made a YouTube video prior to that, I don't know anything. Right then, before that, I was goo goo gaga somehow in his mind. You can see how goo goo gaga thinks, right? Let's continue.
Nothing about Caucasian Egypt, none of that.
No, it's not a video about Egypt. It was a video about a statue anomaly that when you look at a pad upside down, it looked like an alien. Kind of stupid, but yeah, let's go.
Because when he made that video, he had no knowledge of history at all.
So you can see his idiot premise here. His idiot premise is, if I'm not making a YouTube video, I couldn't have studied anything. That if we apply this logic, then all the scholars that have never made a YouTube video never studied anything. In his mind, this is what he's trying to equate this to. That if you aren't making YouTube videos, then you're not a scholar. Because he considers himself a scholar because he made lying racist YouTube videos. You see the mentality there. Watch it unfold.
He is a novice.
In the butt, comes out the mouth. Food goes in the mouth, comes out the butt. Food goes in the butt, comes out the mouth. Food goes in the mouth, comes out the butt. Food goes in the butt, comes out the mouth. Food goes in the mouth.
This guy, he never read a page. He never read a full book of history.
He has no clue.
He's just watching other people's videos and going by what they say and going by what they say and making his videos on it.
And if you'll watch him, all of his videos and any of the knowledge he has is off of Sermon, all these old guys that's already been debunked before. And he's just saying that and then deciding that if he sits there and yells about it with an ankh around his neck, it makes it brand new, and he makes videos about it. But he has no idea what scholarship means, and I'm not sure he spent a day in college. I'm not sure he would have passed high school without affirmative action, if he even did.
But him, nothing. No independent research.
Nothing.
No knowledge of history.
No, none.
See, that's why we have a track record of what we do.
Yep.
Every historian leaves a track record of their work. And we...
Oh, I've got a lot of work. It's just not made into YouTube video. I just started doing that here. Oh, I don't know, a couple of years ago. I started doing a bunch of choral videos and stuff, and things like that. But before, I really didn't mess with YouTube because there's a bunch of BS all over it and a bunch of weird shit and everything, and I didn't really look into it too much. But once I looked into it, sometimes when you research now, you can find people showing you a whole video about something, and so I utilize that, and then I add on to it with things that I've learned from studying the same stuff that those people did that made the video. It's a very simple process, something he can't quite understand, but he thinks that if he debunks me, that makes West Africans all of a sudden into Egyptians, and it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry, guys. You can't change history, and it's all a jealous, racist lie. Let's continue.
See here that he only has a track record of filming fish tanks in lagoons.
Saltwater aquarium corals. I'll go ahead and leave it up and everything on it, but yeah, there's saltwater corals, rare and exotic corals from around the world. Used to sell them to different people around the world too, that they couldn't get certain permits to get corals in, and I would take and get them to certain ones, and there were certain color varieties of things like these yellow torches and frog spawns I used to get. They're just, the pictures and stuff, the camera can't even capture it and do it justice and stuff. Yeah, and rare things. Sure, finding Nemo and Dory and everything, and I know the Latin name of every fish and every coral and stuff, and I can tell you where they come from and all that, and the different varieties y'all come from different areas and who gets along with what and stuff. Like Nemo's Amphiprion percula, But in reality, he's actually just the Ocellaris variant. The true Percula was found in Solomon Islands by Sanders and Coy in what was it, 40 something, 1852 maybe. But so that was the first one. Then they found other fish that were almost exactly like that and looking, and so they were going off that, but then found out the other ones were slightly different, so they renamed the Nemo variant Ocellaris, which I've always thought to be a strange thing because it means false eye spot, like if they have a target on their body and they don't have one, like Cyclosoma ocellaris, the peacock bass. It's a freshwater. People go down and fish for them in South America. They have a big spot on their tail. Ocellaris butterfly fish has a spot on him. He's known as a four-eyed butterfly because he has two and then a spot on each side, so he's four-eyed butterfly, and things. So yeah, we don't need to go there, but yeah, sure. Just because he doesn't know something doesn't mean it doesn't exist, like my scholarship. But let's continue. Oh,
A fake and a phony.
see the fake and the phony now?
And people know that I always talk about Egypt.
Yep. He always talks about Egypt, but he doesn't talk about West Africa and where he actually came from. And if you did a DNA test, it'd find out that he's not related to any of those people, not even the Nubians or Ethiopians or Khoisan. He's really a West African. And he doesn't like that. And so he stares off and he dreams of lies, and then he wants to get mad about lies. It's pathetic. And he's just one of a lot that have this problem outwardly. Let's continue.
Always educated about Egypt. Ever since I've been on here. I don't have to say that I'm a 35-year researcher. I don't have to do that because my work speaks for itself.
Actually, he couldn't say that he's a 35-year researcher because it would be a lie. And he can't deny that I haven't been doing it for over 35 years too. And have I been totally, nose to the grind? Have I been somebody that's been out chipping on rocks? No. I've just been studying this stuff, going deep into it, going down every little rabbit hole and stuff, and I've made a lot of connections. And then eventually I was able to look at it and see that it's this whole spider web, and it's still, that's a spider web, but I couldn't understand it. Then I walked around to the other side of the spider web, and I could see what the writing was on it, and it all made sense to me then. And I've been trying to reveal it to people in pieces and stuff, but in fact, in doing so, I've been a little shadow banned, and that's okay, I guess. I don't care. I would like it to get out to a lot of people, but I'm not trying to promote myself. I want the knowledge and the idea to get out there, and other people that have more fans than me to hear the same thing coming from another guy that might have heard it in my video. I don't know. Let's continue. I don't dedicate myself to debunking black people. I only do it whenever they yip. Again, this guy drew first blood coming on my videos, telling me I was a pseudo-scholar and that he knew all this crap. And then I come to find out other people have already debunked his crap before and everything, and he challenged me, and I'm like, well, let's go, I guess, if you want to pull something. I don't debate people necessarily. I'm just here to give out knowledge. It's not about me. It's about the knowledge. Let's continue.
We are for real in this. I am for real in this.
No, you're fake.
Okay? This is my craft. And not only this is my craft, but these are my ancestors.
No, you have no genetic connection to him whatsoever. That's the pathetic thing, is he's trying to connect himself to people that they didn't even know existed. He can't cognate.
But this idiot just came 1 year ago. He's a Johnny-come-lately. He goes on to say in the video that he can do whatever he want to do. No! Neptunes Lagoon, you cannot do whatever you want to do. There are rules to this.
No, you don't make any rules, idiot.
Rule number 1 is you stick to the records and tell the truth.
Yep, I'm telling the truth. And I tell you what, Negro, you don't tell me what to do. Yip, wave your finger, act like an idiot, yap your little mouth, but it means nothing. It means nothing. There are no rules you make up. There are no rules you're following. All you're doing is being a pathetic racist, making up crap by your own hand, and now shaking your finger at it because you're mad.
About what you